Hi, I'm professional triathlete TJ Tollakson, CEO of Dimond Bikes, and today I'm going to talk to you about treadmills. So you saw in last week's video, we talked about how you run on a treadmill and if you need that 1% grade. You can check out that video if you're interested. But now I just want to talk about what to look for if you're buying a treadmill. There's so much information out there. I want to point you in the right places so you can get the things that are important to you and not the things that are not important to you. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to look at treadmills and say the most basic treadmill that you can get is a manual treadmill, and that means you don't have to plug it in to power it. You just run and you move the belt as you run, and the faster you run, the faster the belt moves. Cheapest treadmills you can buy usually, the safest treadmills because you can't fall and really injure yourself on them because the belt doesn't move much faster. But it's really for just very basic things, and it's best for actually walking, not so great for running unless you're trying to do some specific strength work while you run. Okay, moving on past the manual treadmill, we go to the next category up, which is a home treadmill. And probably the most common type of home treadmill you can find at the store is one that folds up. Good economical treadmill. If you're finding a new one, you're probably going to be in about the $1,000 price range for that, okay? Look for a treadmill that has at least a 3 horsepower motor. Hopefully you can find one that weighs at least 200 pounds. Why does the weight matter, right? I mean, theoretically you could get an aluminum treadmill, an all aluminum body, it'd be super lightweight. Well, that also wouldn't cost $1,000, right? So why does weight matter? The heavier the treadmill, the more stable the treadmill. So when you're running on this thing and pounding on it, the heavier it is, the more stable it's going to be when you're running. A really good sized belt for running, 20 inches wide by 60 inches long. 60 inches, that's 5 feet. You don't really need anything else than that. Smaller belts, you're going to feel really narrow running on. It's going to be harder to pay attention to what you're running, and you really need to focus on that. And shorter belts are equally going to be as hard because you'll feel like you're falling off the back of the treadmill very quickly. So 20 by 60 is kind of the target belt length to look for. You could shorten that by 6 inches in the back and not feel overly cramped. And you could probably come 2 inches narrower on that belt and go to 18 inches. But I wouldn't suggest going to anything narrower than that for any time you want to run on the treadmill. My personal recommendation, if you're in that $1,000 price range, you could probably bump that up, spend about $1,500 and have a really nice commercial refurbished treadmill. Most of these residential treadmills are going to run up to 12 miles per hour, which is pretty good. 12 miles per hour is a 5-minute mile. So it's faster than most people are going to use their treadmill at any given time. But what's the difference, really the difference, when you jump from a residential to a commercial? One, a commercial treadmill is going to be much, much heavier. And so while you could get one that's 200 pounds for your house, a commercial treadmill is going to be north of 400 pounds usually. It's definitely not going to fold up, right? These are the same treadmills that you're going to find at any major gym that you would go to across the country. And then a lot of these treadmills are really performance oriented, which depending on what your use is, you may actually want, but you may not need. And so a typical home treadmill is going to have an incline from probably 0 to 10 or 12%. Commercial treadmill is going to jump that up from 0 to 15, or in a lot of cases like the treadmill that I have, it goes -3 to 12 on the incline, so you can get a really good range for what you're looking for. So when we're looking at the commercial treadmills, there's 2 categories. I'll break it into 3 categories. We'll say there's used treadmills, there's factory refurbished, reconditioned treadmills, and then there's new commercial treadmills. Well, if you have the money for it, I say, why don't you go all out? You could buy a nice Woodway treadmill for $10,000. A Woodway 4-front, it goes 0 to 12.5 miles per hour, has really good 0 to 15 incline on that. But if you don't have 10 grand or you don't want to spend 10 grand on your treadmill, for a couple grand you can get a nice used commercial treadmill. The personal treadmill that I use is the Life Fitness 97 Ti. It goes, like I said, it goes all the way to 16 miles per hour, so faster than I need to run with that. 15 miles per hour is a 4-minute mile, so I'll not planning on breaking the 4-minute mile anytime soon. Then the difference becomes in what you're looking for running surfaces. So some of these nicer treadmills, the Tread Plus from Peloton, the Woodway Forefront, they both have slats. So it's like tank tracks instead of a belt. And so that's really nice because the tank track, one, has very, very low slippage. And so the calibration stays on track almost all the time, right? So you rarely have to calibrate or fix the calibration on a treadmill that uses those slats or tank tracks. So if you're looking at that, obviously you could spend way upwards of $10,000 because $10,000 gets you a nice treadmill without any entertainment options. And me personally, my view on this is I've got a tablet, I've got a TV, I've got Bluetooth headphones. I don't need a giant screen in front of me on my treadmill itself, so that's not really important. I also don't need things like little fans that blow on me or MP3 connectors, and so none of that was important when I was looking for a treadmill. Some things that are nice, if you look at the Tread Plus from Peloton, it's got a dial to dial up the speed control as well as the incline. So making that really fast is a nice feature. You know, I've got an up arrow and a down arrow button like a lot of people do, and that's not super convenient. The other big thing with most commercial treadmills is there's a port on the back of the treadmill. It looks like a phone jack, and you can actually plug in a Gym Connect from North Pole Engineering. And this allows you great compatibility because now all of a sudden your data from when you're running on the treadmill will transmit to other devices like a Garmin or namely to Zwift. So if you want to try running in the virtual Watopia Zwift world, you can, with a commercial treadmill, plug in this Gym Connect. It's $100 and all of a sudden you've got yourself a virtual running companion. If you have a lower end treadmill that does not have that port in the back, there's another device that North Pole Engineering makes that you can still use. It's still $100, but it's, in my opinion, not quite as cool because you actually have to mount the device on your belt, put some stickers. The one benefit of that device is it lets you calibrate your treadmill speed, and that's probably the biggest difference when you step up from a residential to a commercial treadmill is the calibration. There have been all kinds of studies done. Consumer Reports does studies on this, but they calibrate treadmills, and certainly the high performance treadmills are calibrated more precisely and more accurately, so they repeat time and time again and they hold a very true miles per hour. We'll save that for another video where we actually show you how to calibrate your treadmill, but for now, let's just say that the calibration on a commercial treadmill is superior. The last thing to look at is what we kind of just hinted on with Zwift and Peloton, is that if you're looking for an immersive experience when you run, if you want to have somebody coach you through a run, you want the treadmill to move up and down on hills and speed up and slow down, well, then there's subscription services from Nordic Track, from Nautilus, from Peloton, or you can do it yourself on Zwift. And so those become important features when you're looking for a treadmill too. So by all means, go for it. I think the Tread Plus on Peloton is about a $5,000 treadmill. It's not quite at full commercial grade quality, but it does use those tread plates, and it's certainly an in-betweener between a home treadmill and one you would find at a gym. And as of right now, today, you can run on Zwift for free. So any commercial treadmill that you buy for a $100 connection from North Pole Engineering, you can get what you need to run on Zwift, which is kind of a cool feature. So that's kind of my roundup for what it takes to run on a treadmill. When you're looking to buy, these are the things that matter. Yes, weight matters. Yes, speed matters for some, but for not a lot. A whole bunch of people, 12 miles per hour is faster than you're ever gonna run on the treadmill. And then 10% incline is probably as high as you ever really need to go. For those select few who are looking for more bells and whistles, they're out there. They can be affordably purchased. I bought my treadmill from fitnesssuperstore.com, and I would also highly encourage anybody who buys a treadmill, especially a commercial one, to consider the extended warranty on it, because it's nice if something does break to have that covered, especially if you're buying a used one. And then the big one, if you're buying a 450-pound treadmill like my Life Fitness 97 Ti, you're going to want to go ahead and pay for that factory install in your house, so you don't have to lug that baby up and down the stairs. You don't have to worry about if it's level, if you have it right. So those are the things to look for when you're getting a treadmill for your home. Best of luck and happy running. Theo, come here. Come here. So we're going to talk about our home treadmill right now. This is my 7-year-old second grade son, Theo. And Theo, do you like to run? Yeah? You going to talk?
Okay, yes.
Okay, do you like to run?
Yes.
Yes. Do you ever run on the treadmill at home?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you like our treadmill at home? Is it nice?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I like to hear that. Is it a toy?
No.
No, it's very dangerous, isn't it? You gotta be very careful when you run, right? What happened? Tell me a story about what once happened at our house on our treadmill.
My sister Drew, I was running on the treadmill, and she was gonna try to go up there, and then she tried to run up there, and then she slipped, and there was no smoke.
Right, she fell down, boom, hit the deck, and it threw her off the back right into the wall. Yeah, so you gotta be careful with the treadmill, they're dangerous. Can you show me some of your run form right now? Like, what do you look like when you run on the treadmill? Show me what it looks like, right now. Show me what it looks like. Run like you run on the treadmill.
Oh my God, okay.
What, that's it? You just do this? You just pose like you're a robot or something? No, come on, show me how you run.
I can.
Yeah, fast, come on, show me. Like a fast run. All right, well, let's just see how fast you are without the treadmill. Run over there, run. Ready, go. Turn around, come back, come back, come back, come back. Good job, dude. Oh, all right, good job.
Now, where's the tablet?
Where's the tablet?